Alabama, home to one of the best atmospheres in all of college basketball. Tonight, the number 20 Auburn Tigers put a 61-game home winning streak on the line in non-conference play against the Merrimack Warriors. Hello, everybody. Welcome courtside in Neville Arena. Coming to you right in front of the Auburn Jungle. Britt Bowen here alongside the Hall of Famer, Coach Joe Champion. Coach, tonight we get two different styles of defenses. High-pressure man from Auburn and that 2-3 zone from Merrimack.
Auburn sorry wants to pick up the pace. Merrimack wants to slow it down with their zone defense.
Well, for Merrimack tonight, they need somebody to step up. 10 new faces on the team. It was Ty Dorsett in game one, 19 points in the opener.
When you look at Ty Dorsett, he's a solid All-American, all-around athlete with a good motor. But he, in terms of scoring, that's his career high of 19 points and 2 assists and 2 rebounds. He only averaged 2 points a game last year.
Well, for Auburn, it was Keyshawn Hall in their opener Monday night. He led the Big 12 last year. He led Auburn with 28 in the opener.
A 6'7" power down low, but he's an efficient 3-level shooter who does an exceptional job drawing fouls when attacking the rim.
Big numbers, 28 points, 8 rebounds, most by an Auburn player in the opener. He got to the line 18 times, went 16 of 18. Coach, how does he have an impact tonight to get off to a hot start?
Well, certainly with this zone offense, he's got to be an efficient passer up in the high post, deliver it to his teammates, but also attack the rim, with some force.
One key tonight for Auburn, Keyshawn Murphy will be out for the Tigers. He had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists against Bethune-Cookman. Coach, what does that do to the Auburn rotation?
Well, once again, you're concerned about the numbers you have to play, how long is your bench, but more importantly, Auburn is a 3-level defensive team. They want to protect the rim, they want to defend a 3-point shot, and alter 2-point shots. So you need that rim protector. Without Murphy in there, it's a big concern of covering the gaps and giving help at the rim.
Tigers 1-0, picked 6th in the SEC. Merrimack on the road for the first time. They were picked 7th in the MAAC. They're 0-1 to jump it up in center court. It is Sebastian Williams-Adams making his first career start at Auburn. And Todd Brogna for Merrimack. It is Williams-Adams winning the tip. And off we go here in Neville Arena.
When you talk about patience against this zone defense right now, what you have to look for is being able to screen it. You move the ball from side to side, move people and the ball, but more importantly, break it down by screening.
Auburn tries to go inside. Auburn was worried about tip passes. There they get the first steal of the night for Merrimack with Andres Marrero. Marrero. They forced 14 in the open.
Your zone defense is going to put you in a position where you're going to use your arms. You're going to talk about deflections to the inside. Auburn's going to have to fake a pass, to make a pass.
And the backdoor cut inside, taken away by Overton.
What Auburn has to learn right there is when you're defending, what's more important, seeing the ball or seeing the man? It's seeing the ball.
Offensive putback, rims out for Jovic. And the jump ball tie-up goes the Warriors' way. Good stop inside for Merrimack.
Good hustle by Auburn, though, on the weak side boards to rebound that ball and just miss that easy shot. But here they go with their full court pressure now. They're just putting yourself in a position where they're going to try to up the tempo of the game, shorten the window of decision by you being able, you have to make quick passes, quick actions to get open against their pressure defense.
Merrimack shot just 32% in the opener. That one falls short from deep for Brogna.
Brogna was 0 for 8 in their first game. He's struggling to knock down a shot.
Last year averaged 12 a game. Pannaford inside finds Jovic and is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Neither team able to get a field goal here in the first opening minute and a half. Auburn will have a chance to break the score here with a free throw.
But great pass by Tahad. I mean, to look away directly into the hands of Jovic. Jovic has to become stronger and attack the defensive player's chest rather than gathering the ball and going up so soft.
Jovic 2 points in the opener. This is on his first free throw attempt of the season.
These young men are a little bit nervous. He's got to stay on the line, shoot that. Fingertips are going into the rim now. They're just nice fluid mechanics of shooting the ball to the rim.
Missed them both, and Auburn shot it well from the free throw line in the opener, 71%. This one still scoreless in the second possession for Merrimack.
Overton out top does a great job on pressuring the ball.
Straightaway three, Dorsett finds iron. Pettiford tied up, lost it, but falls to Overton.
What you like to see with Auburn right there is 4 people going after the ball, after the shot. Shot missed by Pettiford, quick shot. You have to have patience against this zone offense. That's what Merrimack wants you to do, is shoot it quick.
Shelton straight away breaks the scoreless tie.
Ernest Shelton out of Philadelphia, Father Judge High School. You get into that Catholic League with these young men, they understand the game, that they play a great caliber game, and in terms of their basketball IQ is always outstanding.
He was 33% in the opener, transfer from Grant University. Pettiford goes to the corner, quick release to Hall. Reversing back is Keyshawn Hall. Hall with 28, with a floater, got it.
His ability to put it on the floor and create for himself, that definitely was a shot that he created on his own movement.
Quick trigger for Dorsett. Auburn crashing the boards well on both ends of the floor. Hall backside to Pettiford. Auburn looking for Stephen Pearl. They want to see at least 4 or 5 passes, Coach Champion, with that entry pass to the lane. There they get it. Williams-Adams can't find it. Recovered by Jovic inside. Got it to go and one. Williams-Adams with a finish inside.
Well, that's what you talk about hustle plays. You have a situation where the ball's on the floor. Jovic picks it up. Great pass inside. Right there, all the hustle. Jovic catches it. Great vision. A little shuffle pass to Sway, and Sway knocks it down. Great promise for that young man from Houston, Texas, Williams-Adams. His ability, his athletic ability, plus his skill level, but his want to play every possession.
Kid described by his head coach Stephen Pearl as tough. He scored 31 off the bench in the exhibition against Oklahoma State. Violation goes against Auburn. No, excuse me, a foul inside against Auburn. That'll give Merrimack a possession with the Tigers up by 1.
Merrimack right now starts with that dribble entry, dribble weave out front. They want Auburn to switch. Auburn is staying on the inside shoulder, force them to go wide.
Guerrero nearly lost it. Three for the lead, left long. Keyshawn Hall pulling it in for Auburn to hold the Auburn lead. Merrimack getting Auburn to slow and set up into that 2-3. Auburn not able to push as much as they would like.
Merrimack's not getting them to slow down. Thank goodness Auburn is slowing down. Tahad's taking control, but they have to flash that high post area and break them down. Force that zone defense to come to the high post.
A logo 3, Kevin Overton for his first bucket of the night.
Kevin Overton, you like everything about his game. He's a unique combo of speed and explosiveness, and once again plays every possession.
First turnover in the backcourt to Hod, spots up and off the mark. Hall crashing the boards yet again. Auburn's top rebounder tonight. Ball out of bounds off of Merrimack. It'll stay on this end of the floor.
Taking a look from the inside. Sway looking inside, kicks it back out. Overton with the clock running down. Nothing but net.
15:28 to go in the first. Auburn 7, Merrimack 7-3. Tigers lead Merrimack early here in Del. 7-3. Tigers lead Merrimack early here in Neville Arena. Merrimack led by Coach Joe Gallo, and it's been an interesting timeline for the Warriors. In 2018, they announced they're moving to Division I. 2019 was their first season in Division I. Then they win the NEC tournament in 22-23, Coach, but could not compete the NCAA tournament.
But it was showing the road to success for Joe Gallo and his program, and then he starts with his chaos defense that, for some reason, you look at the players, you look at their size, they play a very disciplined style ball. Last year they were 15th in the nation in scoring defense, only allowing 64 points a game.
Auburn takes it strong to the rim with Keyshawn Hall. He's got 4.
Keyshawn Hall right now is showing me some body language that it's all about taking over this game offensively on the inside, and that's a big key. But what I like about his scoring, he's up this defensive play also. But we have some size in the game now for Auburn. 7-footer.
Inside is Emeka Okoro. Underneath, forces the miss against Brogna, rips the rebound away. Finding Bashir.
Bashir known for his scoring, coming out of junior college, just a pure shooter from the perimeter, a catch-and-shoot type player that could be effective against the zone.
Nice pass, Freeman. Better finish, Emeka Okoro. Underneath, the JUCO Conference Defensive Player of the Year out of Butler Community College.
We had talked about Auburn using the bench. Right off the first time out, you see that Coach Pearl has put in 3 different players to extend their bench with Freeman, Bashir, and Okoro.
What a finish by Kennedy. In contact, didn't get the call, but still made the finish off the glass. Auburn goes for the lob with Bashir. Falls to the hands of Merrimack. It's turnover the 9 for Auburn. Herrero had space on the misfire. Merrimack 2 of 7 from the field, just 1 of 5 from 3. Tigers working underneath. And a jump ball called underneath. Brogna ties up Hall. Stephen Pearl in his first season as head coach of the Auburn Tigers, coach and assistant from 2014 to 2025. His Tigers 1-0 thus far, Coach. What are your expectations for Coach Pearl and the Tigers in his first season?
My expectations are it's a learning curve for this young man. He's played in the system. He's won championships. He's given Auburn the best years, so he knows the system. He played it at Tennessee and won championships. Right now, it's just about game management of working these young men, a whole new roster, except for Tahan, to get them to believe in the system that has been successful for Coach Bruce Pearl, and now for the Auburn Tigers with Stephen Pearl as the leader.
Inside, Wakazi went strong to the rim, and a foul on Merrimack. That'll give Auburn an inbounds play. And one thing about Merrimack, their defensive ranks, Coach, you were talking about last season, you exclude rebounding, they were near the tops in the country across the board.
It's mind-boggling to talk about in steals. They're 7th in the nation, steals at 9.5, 15th in the nation in turnovers, forced, but yet rebounding, they were one of the worst teams. I just don't understand, because the discipline and the way they just play together.
O'Pearl with a floater, missed it, but got the foul on the second attempt.
Well, what I like right now, you got Caden Magwood in there leading this team. You're seeing the movement. The only constant in there right now is Keyshawn Hall. But they're still staying with the tempo. They're still staying with the defensive effort. And right now, you're seeing a defensive attitude by this Auburn Tigers team.
Tough go at the free throw line tonight for Auburn. Tigers 0 of 3. Pearl with 3. One of a handful of D1 transfers, of transfers from non-D1 schools for the Tigers. Shifts left to right, finds a lane, and sealed off by Freeman. Stays on that end. Wakazi kicks out, goes strong to the basket, and Cisse will head to the free throw line.
Purim, I like that. I mean, you got to declare your presence inside. He's a rim protector. A hard foul isn't a bad foul right now to just put yourself in that position. What this Auburn team, especially Freeman now, he's got to be able to react and be ready at all instances. But do not stop at any time unless the whistle blows. When the whistle doesn't blow, you're playing. Whether you go out of bounds or not, get back in and keep the energy going.
Alou Cisse at the free throw line. Transfer from University of Bridgeport. He was the CACC Player of the Year, first team all-conference, averaging 19 points a game. Missed the free throw, got his own rebound, kicks out for the tray. Shelton missed it long.
Now we're looking at the long-range shots. They struggled, only shot 27% against South Dakota State, and they're having the same struggles tonight.
Auburn now 1 of 5 after that missed three, but they lead 12-6. Ball tipped by Auburn. Warriors will keep after this timeout. 11:57 left to go in the first. Low scoring as 12-6. Auburn leading Merrimack. 12-6. Auburn leads Merrimack with 11 minutes left in the first. Last year, one of the tops in the country, 15th in points allowed, 7 steals per game, and 15th in turnovers forced. Had a decent showing against South Dakota State. I mean, they held them to 9 points in just 13 minutes in the second half, while forcing 14 turnovers in their opener. So new players, but that same philosophy still carrying over for Joe Gallo.
Well, the system works, and you know, the players trust the system even though they're new. We talked about the learning curve, and Coach Gallo said, you know, the sky's the limit with them. But right now, in this situation, offensively, they seem not to be able to be explosive. They don't have a go-to player. Dorsett has 2 fouls. But he had a big game, explosive game, because he knocked down some shots. But right now, they don't have an inside attack. They're starting with a high post and just, they got to dribble, drive, and make cuts.
And Meade with a dump off to Cisse, but off the rim and out. Tough miss for the senior. Freeman with a pump fake drive. Euro step and the floater finish. Nice move inside. Elijah Freeman.
Props to Freeman. That was a great move. A Euro step with some length.
And Meade pushing with a fall away and didn't have the shooter's roll.
That's, in terms of a Euro step, this is big time by Elijah Freeman right there. Gets the defense going left, and he slides right into the lane for an easy 2. Freeman is on a lot of NBA boards because of his size, his ability, his skill level, and more importantly, his basketball IQ. When a young man can create his own shot and then deliver it to his teammates, that's an important part of the puzzle for this offense for Auburn this year.
Merrimack 1 of 3 now from the line, and Meade hits his second for his first point of the night.
Second part of the first half, and Auburn has already played 9 players, so they're showing they've lengthened their bench. Stephen Pearl doing a great job of getting some bench players in there.
Well, and tonight, Coach, why is that important? Auburn wasn't able to do that as much in the opener against Bethune-Cookman.
Well, it starts with the trust. I've got to see, Stephen's got to see them be explosive, be consistent, have the energy every possession, don't take a possession off, and they're all learning the system. Some people quicker than others, and right now, what I'm seeing on defense for them, their defensive effort, their ability to see the ball and guard the ball, 10 eyes on the ball, taking care of weak side, and not permitting any straight line drives, important parts of your defensive scheme. And like I said, Auburn is a 3-level defense. They're going to protect the rim, they're going to contest the 3-point shot, and then alter your 2-point mid-range shots.
Sebastian Williams-Davis cashes in at the free throw line. Auburn seeking a stop without a foul here this possession.
Merrimack is not really getting any rhythm to their offense because there's just too much dribbling, not enough screening. They're spacing Auburn out, but they're spacing them out and not breaking them down.
Tigers got a hand on it last. Warriors will have a new 20-second shot clock underneath. Subs on the floor.
Auburn does a great job in baseline out of bounds. Merrimack aware that Coach Gallo has them in a spread on the right wing, screen to screener and come back in. Auburn does a great job of denying the shot.
Auburn's made it tough at the rim. Freeman walking down the lane and was bumped for the foul inside. And that's Ty Dorsett. That's his third with still 10:46 remaining in the first half. That is a huge blow for Merrimack.
It certainly is. And if you look at it closely, Freeman was very close to being called for a travel. The foul by Dorsett came a step quicker. Auburn now trying to steal a possession on the baseline with their out-of-bounds play.
There's 5 of their last 7 shooting. Merrimack 0 of their last 7. High post, Williams-Adams looking for a teammate. Instead puts it on the floor. Doesn't find the rim, taken away by Villette.
Jovic got a position on rebounding on the weak side. He has to learn when his teammate is pounding it down the lane, get on that weak side for an opportunity to rebound and score.
Got a hand on him was Magwood. Saving it, Sebastian Williams-Adams.
Magwood pulling it back out, getting them into a pattern to attack this zone defense.
Overton saying, let's push the tempo. 10 to shoot for Auburn. Overton thought about it, passed on it, catch and shoot deep for Magwood. Crossing to the rebound, Villette. Merrimack's only lead, 3-0, the first basket of the game. Auburn's chipped away and taking control. Picks up the dribble, Villette giving off to Shelton. One dribble and pull up. Not a high percentage shot. And Jovic pushing with Overton. Jovic takes the dump off and a charge inside on Overton. That's Overton's second.
Auburn started with a tempo to attack, move the ball, attack down inside. Now you've got a situation where they're just playing a little bit too quick instead of setting up to attack this zone defense.
At tip for Marrero to bait Overton. It's Merrimack a new possession. Marrero on the logo, pump fake, kick, 3-ball Stinson. Off the left side, rebound, stuffed out of there by O'Burham. Marrero driving, blocked again, this time Sebastian Williams-Adams. That Auburn defense stingy inside the paint.
Impressive sway and O'Burham just being in a position to stay with the shooter and just attack and have patience. When they lift their feet, the block is leaving theirs also.
With a teardrop fall away. Got a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, Freeman's got a different style to him. He's got that quick step, that explosive step to the rim, knocks down the shot, and he's a very good passer of it also. But we're having a situation now.
He's ruling on the court.
We're going to the
It's
clock.
a clock malfunction. That is under further review.
Our first review tonight for Steven Anderson, Vladimir Boyer-Tuttle, and Chris Ford. That is one nice addition that they added a year or two ago is the microphones, and
Yes.
that lets everybody in the arena know, including us, what is happening on these official reviews.
You look at the advantage, you look at the score 18-7 Auburn, and you say, wow, well, Auburn's shooting 46%, close to 47. Merrimack, 10%. It just shows you the difference in the type of defense. Auburn's pressuring, getting Merrimack out of rhythm, out of getting more than one shot, multiple shots, and then Auburn attacking down at their offensive end and finding ways to get shots for the shooters.
Here's a look what the referees are looking at. Where the clock malfunction happened. And it stopped at 9 minutes while Merrimack had the basketball, so the officials are now going to have to run time off. Appreciate Chris Ford. He just motioned over to us to make sure we know what was going on. But this is one review that...
After review, 21 seconds. The clock did not run for 21 seconds. We'll set the game clock to 8:21.
And a nice job by the officials. Get that issue taken care of. Yeah, but Coach, to your point, ball movement for Auburn. Auburn's being patient. 4 turnovers, yes, but they've still gotten some good shots down the stretch of this ball.
Well, they certainly have. You have to be aggressive, and the turnovers, were by great defensive tactics by this Merrimack team in terms of seeing the ball, deflecting the ball, good hands, and just good sense on the ball. When you're defending now at both ends, the key is, what are you going to permit the ball handler to see? What are you going to permit the ball to see? And you want to take away the vision. And if you just get a one-on-one with teammates helping, you have the advantage. And Auburn's had the advantage defensively of just playing great team defense.
That pass tipped, saved by Freeman. Auburn has several spread out with at least 4 or 3 points tonight. 5 Tigers to be exact. They go low post. Williams dumps off O'Pearl for the flush inside.
We talked about 5 passes. That was 8 passes. A great job by Auburn. Swayed it. Bounce passes inside. That's the one key technique that most players need, is that soft bounce pass to your teammate in that post area.
Merrimack 0 on their last 13. Make it 14 with the offensive rebound for Stinson. They are 1 of their last 17 total. Flying in rebound. O'Pearl wins the battle. Williams-Adams with a tray. Nice look, but off the mark. Tigers on a 6-0 run and stepped out of bounds. That's something Coach Joe Gallo, he was talking about in practice today. As a possession given back to the Tigers. But how about this? The Tigers with a huge finish inside.
The ability to just deliver to your teammate, a 7-footer with that great bounce pass that got up to his chest, puts Auburn in a position right now to be in the lead 20-7.
Offensive rhythm hard to find right now for Merrimack against this Auburn defense. Last points were 11 minutes ago. Last made field goal was 14 minutes ago, Coach. Why is Merrimack having such a hard time finding that offensive rhythm?
Well, you go to their offensive scheme. They're playing a 2-1-2 with a high post, and their movement is just running and cutting rather than screening people. This Auburn defense is too good. If you don't break them down and make the defense make decisions on who they're covering and how they're guarding the ball, then you put yourself in a position where you're just going to throw shots up, and they're 1 for 12 from the 3-point arc and 2 for 22 with shots.
Todd Pettiford looking for his first points. Lobbed over, goes to Hall in contact and made the finish.
That shows the strength of Deshaun Hall, his ability to just jump into the body of the defender and finish the shot.
Well, that's what I was impressed with watching the highlights from the opener. He's got an inside game, but he's also got an outside game where he can knock down the big shot.
That's what I mentioned about being a 3-level shooter.
Breaking the ice, Keyshawn Murphy, Ernest Shelton, his second 3 of the night, leading scorer for Merrimack.
He's got a nice stroke. It's just a matter of trusting your shot with your mechanics, getting your feet underneath you, and putting yourself in a position to believe in your shot.
Scored 15 in the opener. Here's Bashir, and able to answer. Hung on the rim and got it.
And there's the breakdown for Auburn. Got the ball into the high post. Hall makes a great, quick decision. Gets the ball to Bashir on the top wing and has an open lane to shoot it. Once again, no screening action by this Merrimack team. Auburn is too good defensive with too many good athletes to cover the one-on-one dribble.
Able to get the shot in the corner for Collette. Auburn all over the rebounding tonight inside.
How about our man inside? The Mecca is making a name for himself in terms of his minutes played because of his rebounding ability and his altering shots.
Ball out of bounds against Auburn. When he was one tonight, I was interested to see what his minutes would be, what his role would be. He's made good use of them so far.
He certainly has.
25-10, 4:40 to go in the first half. Coach, for Merrimack in this offense, how do you finish this half strong with such a struggle in the first 16?
Well,
hand check foul inside against Bushalik. And no, be an offensive foul instead. Another look at it. It was Bushalik going up against the point guard, Kavir Kennedy.
young freshman out of the Catholic League in Philadelphia. Kavir just, he's from Father Judge High School, 6'2", freshman, one of their top signees. He's just got to be in a position where he stays under control emotionally.
I'll give to Todd Pettiford free throws, scoreless tonight for the preseason All-SEC selection. And he makes it. His first bucket of the night puts Auburn up 27-10. Auburn gets the basketball after the free throw. Gets the Auburn jungle fired up here in the final minutes of the first half.
Tahad out on top running the show. You have Hall on the baseline flashing up. You're screening it with Purim and just trying to find a way.
Tahad with a feed. Hall with a muscle out of bounds. It'll go to Merrimack. No, excuse me, stays here. My apologies.
It's interesting to watch Hall. This is a contact sport. He's a big man in there. He's going to have to learn to get a little bit more physical when he's trying to finish his shot. At 6'7", 240.
Pettiford hands off of Pearl, kicks back out. And there you see Auburn's patience, not rushing shots in the half court with a lob and a foul. Hall had the right idea for O'Purum, but the defender there for Merrimack.
But that's being effective in terms of Purim going hard, Hall making a touch pass to him inside. The high post is wide open and can be efficient for this Auburn team. Once you catch and you make quick decisions. You cannot just catch and then make slow decisions. And then you look at what's happening now in terms of ball movement, breaking down this defense. They fly at you. Merrimack flies at you defensively, but then loses the ability to cover on the inside.
Here's this week's SEC Network featured volleyball matchup. Number 4 Texas takes on Florida at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville on senior night for the Gators. Should be a great one tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. You can always watch it on the all-new ESPN app. O'Purum continues to perform tonight for Auburn. He's got 7. And a warning from Steven Anderson on the baseline. Full court press for Auburn. Tigers on a 15-3 run in the last 7:05. Shelton, the leading scorer, with 2 trays. Lobs it and knocked away by Keyshawn Hall. Ball will stay on Merrimack's side with 10 seconds on the shot clock when we come back. 3:49 to go in the first. Tigers lead 29-10. Tigers got it done in the paint tonight. Outscored Merrimack 12-10. Here's how they've done it. All working strong to the basket inside. He's been a key factor, but been a lot of open looks for the entire offense as a whole. Good passing inside as well.
There certainly has. Everybody's sharing the ball, Freeman or Purim, and it all starts with Hall now. He's in a position where he's our go-to ball player inside in terms of Auburn basketball, but now he's becoming a distributor of the ball, especially against his zone defense. And his teammates are making great cuts to the basket, powerful cuts.
For Keyshawn Hall, second team All-Big 12 last year. Led UCF and the Big 12 in scoring, averaging 18.7 rebounds. He averaged 20 points per game in the Big 12. He'll have a chance to make a similar impact on the Plains this season for Auburn.
Well, he's a hard guard when you look at his ability to score at all levels. And he can be put in with mismatches also because of his size. When you get a mismatch, he's got that power, but he can create his own shot off the dribble.
Foul on Brogdon inside, his first. 10th team foul for Merrimack since Keyshawn Hall to the line, a place where he lived on Monday night, went 16 for 18 against Bethune-Cookman. This is his first trip against Merrimack.
What's the style of play? Against Bethune-Cookman, he was being overplayed, and then they were switching, and he got the mismatches down low. This is a passive defense that is going to cover the lane and take away perimeter passing lanes, but they're not putting body on a body. And when you don't find Hall and put a body on him, he's dangerous down low.
Tiger streak continues. 16-3 run. Carried it inside with a stop by O'Perham. Catch and shoot tray. Herrero misfires.
2 hustle rebounds by Merrimack. This is the third opportunity.
And Shelton able to answer with his third triple from downtown.
Well, Shelton's the only one with a hot hand for this Merrimack team right now.
Breaks an 8-0 run for the Tigers. Bashir with an answer. And I think it made contact with that for the block. Here's the follow-away baseline jumper. Good look. Rebound again. Wukazi. And a foul inside. It'll go against Emeka O'Perham, his second. Well, one thing that's been key for Merrimack the last 2 possessions, offensive rebounding. They now rebounded Auburn 9-5 tonight on the offensive boards.
Well, you get back to that foul right there by O'Perham. He was vertical, but Wakazi does a great job of jumping into his chest, and his hands come down. Therefore, there's contact, and it's a good call by the officials.
Round the cylinder and got it for Wakazi. Here's another look.
Here comes Wakazi, and just jumps right into his chest. Does a great job. And O'Perham can't believe he received a whistle.
Had some good minutes, 7 points,
Yeah.
4 rebounds. All in 10 minutes of action.
It's a coming out show for that young man. Coming from Butler Community College. He's showing his skill level, especially at the defensive end, which Auburn needs a rim protector.
And think about what Auburn lost in the post from last year to this year. One of the concerns coming in, how will Auburn fare in the post this season?
You look in the post last year, Janai Brown, Dylan Caldwell, Janie Johnson, just 3 guys that affected the game because of their defensive effort.
Bashir unable to beat the shot clock. Merrimack a chance to cut it to 12, and they do. Ernest Shelton stays hot, drains it from the left wing, and forces the Tigers into a timeout. What was a 20-point Auburn lead, Merrimack now on an 8-0 run. 2 trays by Shelton and a trip to the free throw line by Wakazi. Has this a 12-point game? Another look at this stroke.
You've given this Merrimack team an opportunity to start believing in their scheme in terms of offense. You know, they're starting to rebound with Auburn. There's only 2 2-rebound difference right now. They're feeling it, knocking down the 3, getting to the free throw line. It's all about momentum, and this basketball is a game of runs. And right now, Merrimack is on a run. What does Auburn do to stop that? And then offensively, their last possession wasn't in the offensive scheme. It was dribble, 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 and take a shot. That's an advantage to Merrimack. Just you're playing without patience.
8-0 run in the last 59 seconds. Tahad dumps it off to Freeman in the corner. Can Auburn finish strong in the last 2 minutes? Tahad on the run with the right hand and finishes.
And it all started with the screening. Sway does a great job of screening the guard. And Tahad is so capable. Tahad is so capable of splitting the defender and highlighting it and knocking down the shot.
Here's Tahad. Pettiford's
just wants the screen. That's where it starts right there, the screen. And Tahad, look at him elevate. Right-handed, too. They should give him 3 points for that shot.
Tahad's first field goal of the night. The thing I like about him, obviously, there's so much preseason expectation for that young man, the only returning player from that Final Four team last year. He's not pressing, not having the ball in his hand. Still gets the ball to his teammates, and there Keyshawn Hall gets the foul.
Well, he's not pressing because he understands his role, and his role first is to distribute the ball and get his teammates involved. He's built for big-time games and big moments, and he can take over. But surprising to me now that they have Magwood and Pettiford in together. He's the voice right now of confidence for these fellas and toughness, because Tahad plays every possession. He practices the same way. Every possession, every drill he does is all out, and his teammates have to follow that role. And Coach Pearl understands. Stephen Pearl has given Tahad that freedom to be the extension of the coach on the floor and in the locker room.
Credit to Coach Pearl. Tahad came back after the coaching change right at the start of preseason for the Tigers. Shelton to a knee. Kick out straight away, Brogdon. And the shooting woes continue. Merrimack less than 17%. Carrying to the hole, Freeman lost it, went to his teammate, Sebastian Williams-Adams with a reverse finish.
Look what I found. Slade finds it on just a deflection, and picks it up and scores. Freeman going in, loses the handle. Who finds it? But Sway, Sebastian Williams-Adams. And he's telling everybody, what a shot.
A freshman out of Houston, Texas, making his first collegiate start tonight. Talk about another big man inside that's had an impact for Auburn.
What a freshman talent in Sebastian Williams-Adams. Size, quickness, basketball IQ, shooting at all 3 levels.
Driving baseline. That was a loose. Sisse taking it to the hole.
As I mentioned earlier, you have your 2 point guards in there. You got Tahad going to that 2 position, which he played a lot of last year with Denver.
Pettiford with space. Freeman saves the rebound, takes it up strong, wants the foul, cleaned up by Sebastian Williams-Adams.
Once again, Freeman and the rest of these first-year players for Auburn, I have to understand this is a contact sport. And you can go in, you're going to get knocked around, but you also can absorb that and finish those shots through contact.
Well, especially come January, right?
That's true. When the SEC opens its door with 6 of those teams in the top 25 right now, most of any conference, we're tied with 2 other conferences, but
at the buzzer, Marrero gets fouled by Freeman. That'll be 3 free throws as Elijah Freeman unable to avoid the contact.
Ruling on the floor is a foul prior to the expiration of time. That play is under review.
You look at the shot, you understand that the arm was hit in the motion, so you have to look if time has expired.
Well, for Auburn, I know that's tough because if it stands...
After review, the foul occurred with .6 on the game clock. .6.
.6 on the game clock. Coach, you were on the call Monday night. That happened at the end of the game for Auburn and Bethune. So as a coach, how are you teaching these moments in these last second fouls on defense?
Well, surprisingly, it was the same young man that that fouled him. It's you don't block. The rule should be you don't block a shot outside the paint. You contest, shoot over my fingertips, pass over my fingertips, block the shot in the paint, contest outside the paint. And for a while, you try to discuss it and have a plan. And then when that doesn't work, when practice comes about, you work on that technique of just contesting shots in a manner that the player can understand.
Guerrero trying to get at least two, and he does. I'll make it 39-22. .6 ticks off the clock, and that's how the first half comes to an end in Neville Arena. Great defense by Auburn held Merrimack to 19%. Tigers lead 39-22 at the half on the Plains. 39-22, Auburn leads Merrimack at the half. We have a behind-the-scenes look for you of Stephen Pearl's first SEC Media Days as Auburn's head coach, courtesy of the War Eagle Plus team.
I was really hoping you'd be in main media.
I wanted to be.
I wanted to be. What do you attribute having the best hair in the SEC to, guy? Really just excited for the players to get to experience this. Not a lot of players get to do this, but to be able to do it, and arguably the best league in college basketball, is a pretty cool honor.
Here with new Auburn men's basketball coach Stephen Pearl. Stephen, you're new to being a head coach, but certainly not new to this program. What have the last few weeks been like for you?
Yeah, just been drinking out of a fire hose for 3 weeks. But one of the best parts about my situation is I was able to have a front row seat of watching BP do this for the last 38 years, right? So there weren't really any surprises as far as what the day-to-day was going to be, because I watched him do it for so long. So it's obviously been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's been a pretty smooth transition so far. Obviously being able to keep all 12 guys on scholarship, wanting to come back and obviously finish the job that we talked about in the recruiting process moving forward. So been an unbelievable honor. Been a lot of fun and just enjoying it so far. I thought it was a gift for Laney when I first saw you walk up with it. I was like, that is the cutest thing ever.
This was the last one that was left in Singapore in orange. They sold out all over the U.S.
Okay,
When I was in Singapore last year, I got it.
What can you fit in there? Your keys?
A lot.
A lot?
Cell phone.
A piece of gum? Best superhero? It's gotta be Superman. It's gotta be Superman, right? Marvel? Yeah, it's gotta be Iron Man. It's gotta be. Oh, man. Biggest trash talker on the team? It would have to go to Todd Pettiford or Kevin Overton. They're just competitive, man. They love to win, and they just enjoy competition and getting after it. So this is kind of how they're wired, and it makes for a lively practice. I want to thank John Cohen and Janan Paul and the rest of our administrative team at Auburn and our leadership at Auburn University for giving me this allowing me to have this honor of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to lead this proud program. The staff is the reason why we're still here. We have one of the, if not the greatest staff in college basketball. It's a staff that has been together for close to 8 years almost, a majority of it, and it's a staff that's won 5 SEC championships, been to 2 Final Fours, and since 2014 we've graduated 48 student athletes, which is unheard of in this time of the transfer portal, and we're incredibly proud of that. And that's one of our goals moving forward, is to continue to grow that number. Let's go. Is my wife going to successfully find a nanny in the next few weeks? I see it? Yes.
Oh, that we met in 2005.
Yeah. Yeah.
My 21st birthday. That's that one with this gentleman to my right.
That's right, in Australia, Sydney, Australia.
Getting haircuts together.
That's right, Bohawks. Yeah. All right, Auburn family. All right, SP and the boys. We just finished up 2025 SEC Media Days. That's a wrap. War Eagle.
39-22, Auburn finishes the half strong against Merrimack, and the Tigers getting it done. Sebastian Williams-Adams doing it all for the Tigers inside his Tigers lead here at the break. Britt Bowen here alongside Hall of Fame coach Joe Champion. Coach, it's that time of year. It's November. We get all sorts of great matchups across the college basketball season. Maui coming up. What do you look forward to this time of year?
Or just the great matchups. You look at Auburn going to play in Birmingham next week against Houston, and then Purdue, Arizona, and just the SEC inflicting their strength and the good teams we have throughout the nation, and just great basketball early. Once they get into league play, that's expected with the matchups. But I love what's happening now in preseason.
Well, of course, lots of talking points around the preseason. And Florida, of course, favorite in the preseason poll. They lost their top 3 scores for the Player of the Year, All-SEC second team, Kentucky. OA preseason, 16.2 points per game. And then, of course, the SEC leads the NBA in opening day rosters. That one, to me, is no surprise whatsoever.
Not at all, but we talked about what we're looking forward to. Florida drops their first game against Arizona. Auburn plays Arizona this year, but Florida just with a great team coming into the season. You look at Arizona with the size they have now, and then Houston and Purdue, and I just applaud everybody. Michigan, Oregon, everybody playing.
Well, in the SEC, you had 3 coaching changes, 2 with Alabama ties. Stephen Pearl here at Auburn. Of course, Bucky McMillan leaves Samford to go to Texas A&M. And, of course, Sean Miller, big-time college basketball coach, leaves Xavier and goes to Texas. Excited to see how these guys fare this year in the SEC.
Well, Sean Miller, with his coaching personality, is going to make Texas a tough team again. His style of ball. And then Bucky McMillan, Texas A&M will get a different look, but he's been successful. And then, of course, Stephen Pearl here, who understands the game, comes from a championship pedigree. So there are three new coaches, 3 opportunities, but the league is a whole lot stronger with this new blood.
Well, for Stephen Pearl, he had the strongest non-conference schedule last year. He's got the same this year. Here's a look at what the Tigers have rolling with Michigan coming up in Vegas. Coach, the list goes on in this Auburn preseason.
Well, you look at Michigan, then you look at Arizona, and don't forget in Vegas, too, you also have Oregon, but then Purdue. You finish up Purdue and Indianapolis. Just tough teams. Different matchups with the style ball they play, all great athletes, and all different coaching techniques to make them successful.
Auburn and Merrimack at the half in Neville Arena. We'll bring you back for second half action on the other side. In Neville Arena, Tigers lead Merrimack 39-22. Britt Bowen here alongside the Hall of Famer, Coach Joe Champion. Coach, what stood out to you in the first half?
Auburn's defensive pressure, the ability to break down, their opponent's offensive flow, and then against Merrimack's defense, their zone defense found patience, found a way to attack inside, and found some new players. Auburn loaded the bench with 9 players in the first half.
Auburn inside, for me, was the difference, and Emeka Okpuru, he was one of the key emphasis for the Tigers.
Certainly was. He catches underneath, and he just shot fake and goes up the other side, and then gets a great bounce pass from Sway in there, and then a block. He's showing his presence. First opportunity to play in regular season, preseason competition, and he's earning his minutes.
Summary from the first half, Shelton the factor for Merrimack, 12 points, 4 rebounds. Okpuru 7 points, 4 rebounds for the Tigers and those 2 blocks. But for Merrimack, 19% shooting, Auburn 45% shooting, and the Tigers outscore the Warriors 18-4 inside the paint. And for Auburn with a size advantage, average player 6'6", against an average of 6'3", that makes a difference.
If I'm worried about Merrimack, I'm worried about only shooting 19%. They have to find a way. And the only shooter right now is Shelton with 12 points. So if I'm Auburn, I know where number 3 is. And then from there we can switch off, but you stay with the hot hand.
Ball out will stay on that end of the floor for Merrimack. Well, and the key for Merrimack in the first half, Ty Dorsett in foul trouble with 3 fouls. He is back on the floor to start the second half. Catch and shoot, Marrero. Ball tipped out. Jovic tracks it down for Auburn. Low post, quick to Williams-Adams. He was a hot target in the first half of play for Auburn.
Key for both teams now, these first 4 minutes, how do you attack? Where'd you make your adjustment? And right there, poor pass by Sway, throwing it in ground and compounding it by committing a foul going down the floor.
That one on Sebastian Williams-Adams as he cuts off Ty Dorsett. First team foul of the half for Auburn.
Merrimack's got to put themselves in a position where they run better cuts and better screens to attack the rim.
Brogna made contact with 2 Tigers. That'll be on Jovic, his second person. Brogna to the charity stripe, and
He's awarded the 2 points.
field goal good, his first of the night. So this will be an and 1 free throw. First free throw of the year is a miss for the junior forward.
Out of Stonehill, transfer.
Pettiford steps into it. He knew it as he let it go.
You know, last year that was his job description, to come off the bench and ignite this Auburn team offensively. But he had a cast of characters that were outstanding, and you saw the great season that Auburn had last year. Now he has to grow into a position where he leads this team and just gets everyone involved before he has the opportunity to take charge.
3 gives Pettiford 7 points. That one knocked into the backcourt by Kennedy. Tigers have 5 to shoot. Pettiford again. Jovic had it, lost it. Sebastian Williams-Adams with a turnaround and fouled for a trip to the free throw line.
Jovic is a hustler. He finds the ball, but he never possesses the ball. But then Sebastian Williams-Adams right there finds the ball and gets an opportunity to draw a foul.
Jovic's 5th rebound of the night. Referees will talk about it with Coach Stephen Pearl, and they will go to the monitor.
The ruling on the court that the ball did hit the rim and the shot clock was reset correctly. That play is under review.
Another timing review tonight. This one to see if the ball hit the rim and the shot clock was properly reset. Take another look at it. Missed off the right side. Tough to see from that angle. Free off the hands of Tahad Pettiford, who's got 7 tonight. Tested his waters in the NBA Combine this summer.
This game had a good flow in the first half and started in the second half with a good flow. It's just the interference and the stoppage by trying to correct some issues, which is deemed appropriate right now. But Merrimack has to get their wind under their sails right now. Still shooting 18%. Got to find a way. There's the shot going up. I don't know. It hits the board first. I don't know if it looks like the direction of the ball has changed once it hits the box up there.
I thought it got in the...
Right now.
Yeah, I thought it got in the corner.
See how comes back this way a
Yeah.
little bit. Well, let's just flip a coin. Let's flip a coin and go here.
I will say, watching it live, I thought it touched the rim.
Okay, well, I'm not watching it live, and I still can't figure it out. So let's get this, unless it's.
Is that what you're saying at the scorer's table? Flip a coin.
They're discussing. I think the lengthy time they're taking, it's a shot
After
violation.
review, the ball did
It's a
not hit
shot
the rim,
violation.
therefore it's a shot clock violation and no foul on the play. Reset the game clock to 18-12. It'll be Merrimack basketball.
All right, there's Steven Anderson with a call, and I can see based on video review how they got to that conclusion. So no foul on the play, Merrimack ball. Guerrero will throw it in for the Warriors. Kennedy running the point, a freshman out of Philadelphia, has had some good pace tonight. Only 2 points after 10 in his collegiate debut. Working on Jovic, lost it. Tigers in transition, flying high, unable to finish. Was Hall, but Jovic cleaned it up on the backside.
Great hustle by the Auburn team. Not only Hall taking to the rim, but he had two teammates there to recover it if he missed.
Kennedy hits from deep. Three ball keeping Merrimack in it tonight. They're 5 of 21 shooting the three.
Pace of the game right now is turned in favor of Merrimack because Auburn has to show patience and get some good shots, good looks.
Overton on the run and has the finish.
Very nice floater by Kevin Overton. Just so many players will long jump rather than high jump. He elevated once he got in the lane. It was a soft left-handed shot. Looked like Dick Barnett.
Thought he was one of the defensive player of the game for Auburn with those two big steals late in the game. Here he gets beat on the cut and called for the foul on the baseline as he collides with Kennedy. Here's a look at that last bucket.
Look at that elevation and that soft left-hand touch right there. That's a very skilled shooter. And Kevin comes into Auburn's program after playing, having a successful season at Texas Tech. He's a real gamer. He influenced that game on Monday night against Bethune-Cookman with some 2 deflections and then a big-time basket.
In the corner, rims out. By the way, that's Overton's third foul. He'll have to sub out for the Tigers. On the baseline, having to go get it. Williams Adams takes care of it inside.
Impressive how Sway caught that ball with strength and got a level shot up to knock it down.
And on the other end, Ty Dorsett knocks down his first tray. Dorsett again, 19 points in the opener against South Dakota State. 3 fouls early, scoreless in the first half. That's his first bucket tonight. Pettiford with a crossover, dumps it off to the corner. Hall back to Pettiford. Head fake tray. Second hand finish by O'Perham. Can't get there.
Well, he still deflected the ball, deflected it back out for his teammates.
Pettiford off balance, nearly a great alley-oop. But a foul instead, and Emeka O'Perham goes to the line.
What a great athletic move by O'Perham to catch and slam it down.
A foul will send us to our first media timeout of the second half. Tigers 48, Merrimack 30. Tigers lead, and lots of new faces for Auburn this year. And a handful of those, Coach Champy, have come from non-Division I schools. So Emeka O'Perham, part of that list, he's making a big impact tonight. But for Auburn to go get players, again, not from D1 schools, just goes to show you lots of talent out there in the world of basketball.
Well, what it shows you that Auburn does a great job in evaluating talent and finding it at all levels. But each one of those young men right there are quality people. They were in winning programs, and they bring that sense of success to this Auburn program.
Bradley Pearson from right down the road, Southern Union State Community College. He's local, played at Auburn High School, making the roster here in Stephen Pearl's first season. Auburn back to the free throw line out of this timeout. Has served them well to start the season. They're 11 for 16 tonight.
Merrimack shooting 40% in the second half. Auburn 57 right now. So there's a sense of Auburn's finding a way to beat this zone defense. Merrimack has made a decision to put themselves in a place where they're attacking with some outside shots and quick shots.
The Tigers continue to win the battle on the boards, and it pays dividends, giving Auburn a second trip to the free throw line.
It's all about those hustle points, their ability to secure a second opportunity, shoot and draw a foul. And now Hall goes to the line, shooting 2.
He's 3 of 4 tonight. That made free throw puts him in double figures. Second Tiger to hit that mark tonight. He joins teammate Sebastian Williams-Adams, who has 11. And he got them both to tie him.
Auburn continues with a full court pressure, just trying to slow the ball down and push it to one side so you can have your help side and just force them away from the basket with great on-the-ball pressure.
And Meade looking for the pass inside, off the shoe, lobbed it to Hahn, flying high, and a goaltend by Ed Meade.
Meade got up there. Impressive how the ball's on the floor and Sway makes a great pass. Meade.
It's a Hahn in stride.
At 5'10", showed his jumps.
He puts one up on the baseline that fell short.
Auburn right now trying to attack that high post area and screening the ball defender up on top to break down the defense.
Ball away, Keyshawn Hall drains it. Hall's first 3 of the night puts him at 14. Tigers on a 7-0 run. They've hit 5 of their last 6. And a steal for Keyshawn Hall. Tigers push it. Up and over, flying high around the cylinder, but a foul. Keyshawn wanted the finish. He'll still get a chance at the free throw line.
Great one-arm pass. Hall lines it up. Great shooting mechanics. Auburn bench looks like they want a foul called on that three-point shot, but they were denied. And Hall makes a great steal at the other end. Takes it the length of the floor, a little crossover move. Finger rolls it to the rim.
Foul was on Kennedy, by the way, his 3rd.
The problem with the zone defense that Merrimack is running, it's tough. It's not a comeback defense. It's a containing defense. They'll have to find a way having to get out of it and set some traps to push this game to their advantage.
Tigers up comfortably, 57-30 on a 13-3 run. Driving, Cisse had it knocked away, but Pettiford tried to go reverse up and under and was fouled on the way.
Still, once again, defensive hands, deflecting passes, getting runouts. That's pressure defense by Auburn, making Merrimack play at a different pace that they're not used to. The window of decision-making for them is shortened because they're so far away from the basket. You have a situation where Auburn is taking advantage of their defensive pressure. out in the perimeter.
Pettiford hits them both. The ball effort diving on the baseline. Elijah Freeman causing the disruption. His teammates loved it. The inbound deep in the corner. Stinson triggers, but a foul off the ball. Sebastian Williams-Adams collided as Kennedy trying to break free.
That was an easy call. They could have thrown a flag on that one. Defensive holding.
We'll send Jovic back in the game as Adams picks up his third. Merrimack got hot early this half with a pair of threes. Auburn's been on a 15-3 run ever since, 11-0 in the last minute 43.
Auburn's doing a great job of covering downstream and switching and then coming back out. Great rebounding position, the opportunity to run the floor.
All had it stripped by Kennedy, but a whistle. Kennedy wishes that one had gone the other way. Good effort. Thought he made a clean stop. There'll be a foul on the floor, not a shooting foul. And for Kennedy, tough break for him. That's the freshman's fourth foul. Schalick back in the game for Auburn. Waiting on the official signal from Steven Anderson. We got it. And a quick three from Freeman. That was blocked. Up and under. Keyshawn Hall with the right hand.
Freeman's release was sort of slow for Merrimack defender to come and deflect that shot.
Stinson throws it up, got it, and one. Nice finish.
Jalen Stinson with the ability to take the ball on the baseline and use the rim for protection. Just good head fake, stutter step right there. Steps away and catches Hall off balance.
It's the and one.
Another Philadelphia. Yeah, that's looks like a gold mine for Coach Gallo to get into the Philadelphia Catholic schools. Catholic League.
Such great college basketball up in Philadelphia. Foul called here in the front court against Stinson. Had a chance to go to LaSalle a couple years ago to call a men's game. Get some great college basketball up there.
Oh, Big Five. Big Five with LaSalle, Villanova, Penn. St. Joseph, and one more.
Duquesne.
No, Duquesne's in Pittsburgh. You need an orienteering class.
Pettiford. Schalick and Stinson. Temple, goodness. And Schalick won the battle. And the Auburn fans, the Auburn jungle in particular, loves it behind us. I'm disappointed I missed that one. Pettiford zips one to Freeman. Hustles for the rebound and stripped and got it back. Lots of contact and a whistle after he hits the deck.
Getting a little slumpy now with the play, but it's all about hustle, and the hustle is the first part of that. Auburn up 61-32, 12:26 to go. Merrimack only shooting 23%
By the way, your broadcast partner from Monday night wanted me to ask you a question.
I decline.
You decline? Okay.
I don't even want to know the question. And you should know better than that.
Just figure while I had you in a spirited mood, I would shoot my shot.
Yeah, well, your shot fell short.
61-32.
It fell short just like Freeman's free throw.
Deep three from Marrero. Swish. Stops a 13-2 run for Auburn. And the three ball has been the saving grace tonight from this Merrimack offense. 7 for 25. Into the high post to Hall. Kicks it back out. Freeman. Back to Hall. Blocked from behind and contact for free throws after this timeout.
Outstanding interior passing by this Auburn team. If they're not making a shot, they're drawing fouls, and that's why they're in a position right now to be in the lead 61-35 with 11:55 to go in the second half.
Lots of stories in college basketball in the opening week. Here are a pair of big ones. Arizona defeated the defending champs, the Florida Gators. Last defending champs to start 0-1 was Syracuse back in 03-04. Coach Champion, my big takeaway from that one, can't overreact this early as week one. Arizona, a quality program. Florida, plenty of time to figure it out.
No, it's a learning moment. It's not a reaction to losing a game. You're building and you're becoming important when it counts in January and February and March.
Well, how about the D2 Hawaii Pacific upsets Boise State? D2 making some noise here early.
Now that isn't a learning moment. That's a panic moment to find out, where you are and what you're doing in terms of respecting every opponent and playing every possession a game against a D2 school.
All right, difference in doing it in a regular season game versus an exhibition game, because in both men's and women's occasionally, you do hear of it happening in the closed exhibition or closed scrimmage setting.
You certainly do, but from the standpoint of early on an exhibition situation, you're going to play 10, 11 people just to evaluate, and because of the way college basketball and football has turned with the transfer portal, you have to know your team and you have to grow as a team. So many new faces, so many new minds have to believe in the system. They have to buy in. Probably the toughest job now for a college coach is the ability to motivate, to have these players in sync with your system. Even though your system took you to the Final Four and has won 5 SEC champions, these players weren't a part of it. So they have to grow into it and they have to believe it. That's the job of the coach.
Roger Freeman called for the foul, holding the jersey on the way to the basket.
Looks like Merrimack is up their speed on their cuts now offensively.
And there's a foul falling away. Andres Barrero. Though it's reversed in Auburn's favor.
Started with the kick. He had the kick out there, which was called. Great call by Steven Anderson, crew chief tonight. He was right on it. Okay, here comes Merrimack now with 11:42 to go. They're finding a way to put some pressure on a 1-2-2 scheme, three-quarter. Just finding a way to change the tempo of the game. Then they fall back into their matchup zone.
Auburn getting the freshman Kaden Magwood some more minutes. Lob inside, big hammer. Emeka Okporo with a finish.
That's an added bonus for this Auburn team to have a 7-footer down low, being able to catch and slam.
Okporo, it's another steal for Auburn. And Magwood avoids 2 defenders to take that one away. To shoot. Lob again! Back to back! Williams Adams to Okporo with a stuff inside! big man to big man. Williams Adams to O'Purum with the exclamation. 67-35 Tigers. Emeka O'Purum, sophomore from Lagos, Nigeria. 7-footer, 11 points tonight. Perfect 4 for 4 from the field and cleaning up on the glass as well with 4 rebounds. Coach, for him tonight, is wondering what type of minutes he could get in this game, what type of impact he would have. That young man is taking advantage of this opportunity.
Well, he was in a situation in the last game, didn't have any playing time and limited in the exhibition game, so he's got to prove himself. And in terms of, I look at the defensive end, where there's a need to be a rim protector. He's got great instincts. He anticipates when the ball is going to be passed or shot. Great blocker of shots. And then offensively, he's got great hands and feet to rise up and slam that ball down.
And big 3 off balance for Marrero.
So I think that's a big plus for Auburn. Now, a lot of bench players getting minutes, which is important. Especially, I like Magwood up on top because he has to be that conductor out there. Just get into rhythm, let his teammates trust him, and then go and deliver the ball to the hot hands. And if need be, he could shoot it too.
Running to the basket, and Brogdon had a step. Nice finish, quick finish with the right hand.
Auburn continues to use the screen up on top on their ball handler. But Purim doing a great job of coming up, setting a screen, and then splitting to the rim. Doing a short roll into the paint rather than going all the way to the basket.
Talk about stretching the bench. That was a talking point for Coach Pearl, evening out those minutes. Here, Coach, what are you looking for from the second group here?
Well, just a continuation of good patience offensively, getting the ball after 5-pass offense, and then being able to rebound the ball.
Elijah Freeman got a foul on the floor, went over the back on a second attempt at the rebound. That's the 17th foul for Auburn. Now both teams are in the bonus with 9:15 to play. You see Coach Stephen Pearl has a message for his guys on the bench.
Well, it's just staying in tune right now. You have a game where you're in control. Just stay with the system, and that's what Coach Pearl wants to see. So he wants to have these players aligned with what he's asking them to do, and just follow that pattern, having patience in the half court, being able to score early on rebounds and steals, but then have a 5-pass offense when he has to go back into the quarter court.
Stephen Pearl, 22nd head coach in Auburn history. His dad, Bruce, stepped down after the Final Four run, stepped down right at the beginning of the preseason. His Tigers are 1-0, trying to go to 2-0 tonight. Deep in the shot clock. Williams Adams, fall away, money.
That elbow area has been a soft spot for this defense, and Auburn's found it.
Shelton had space, unable to finish with 4 threes tonight. Magwood steps into it. Overton had a hand, but knocked away from behind. Shelton again. Got it.
Sheldon stepped into the shot quick, but great footwork. It all started with good footwork. He had his feet ready and hands ready.
Back-to-back
down
games.
that shot.
Sorry, Coach. Back-to-back games with 15 points for Shelton. of bounds.
Just great pass to the inside. This way, instead of going into the defense, just pulls up and takes a nice 12-footer to knock it down. So many young players would attack the defense and just get into a crowd and not be able to complete that shot. Great IQ by Sway to knock down that 12-footer.
Shelton to the free throw line. Leading scorer with 15, give him 16. New season high after the 15-point performance on Monday. Got them both. Agwood working with Bashir. Last few possessions have gone deep in the shot clock for Auburn. Overton with 3 to shoot. In a double team bumped on the floor by Ernest Shelton. Frustrating one there for the Warrior guard and also for Coach Joe Gallo. 69-43. We'll send this to another media timeout. Back with more from Neville Arena coming up in 2 minutes. Keyshawn Hall been on fire for Auburn tonight. Back-to-back games, 20-point performances. He's been doing it all for the Tigers, Coach Champion.
Well, he seeks contact, which is a great opportunity in the paint for a young man like that, but he's at 3 level. He knocks down the 3 there, but inside he attracts. He tracks the defender, but still has the strength and explosiveness to rise to the rim. And he's been on the foul line. He's 9 out of 10 from the free throw line, 12 rebounds, and 5 for 8 from the field. You're seeing consistency with Hall and just growing as an Auburn player and finding his way in this Auburn system.
Last Auburn player to do that was Sharif Cooper for the Tigers, and that was to score back-to-back 20-point games to start his Auburn career. And he led the Big 12 and UCF last year in scoring. Dorsett pumps the brakes, fall away, and hits. Nice move.
Great shot off over Phil Jovic to extend and rise up and make the shot.
And he's coming off a 19-point performance in the opener. Magwood spun down the lane, had to kick out as he got in trouble. That's the fall away short for Kabir Kennedy. Back to the corner.
Another rebound by Hall, taking it down the floor under control.
And got it and one.
Switches to his right hand and makes the shot.
Well, that's his game right there. He's going to go to the basket strong. I mean, he's 240 pounds. He's got the size advantage. Expect him to do that all year long for Auburn.
I would hope so. Just keep growing as that player. You saw his success last year at Central Florida in the Big 12, leading scorers. Just a matter of finding a system that he can contribute, not only in scoring, but getting to the free throw line and defending.
Well, not only that, he knocks him down when he gets there. I mean, he was 16 for 18 against Bethune-Cookman at the free throw line. He's 10 of 11 tonight.
Okay, just with 6 minutes to go, there'll be a little bit more opportunities for him in that category.
Whistle from Chris Ford. And Kevin Overton called for a foul that will send Shelton to the free throw line. And for Overton, that is his fourth, I believe. Shelton 2 of 2 tonight, making 3 of 3.
Shelton has shown a lot of skill in terms of his shot selection, his ability to make shots, but just staying with their offense, going 5 for 10 right now.
Now with 19 points after converting on the free throws. Overton zips one to Bashir. Just trying to eat some seconds off this clock of 73-47. Jovic muscling his way up. Left it short, second attempt, rattles in. Reversing his door set to Brogna. Runs into Jovic, no foul. And Overton rips it down.
Great help by Jovic. And then he's rewarded with the pass from Overton.
Got it blocked. Pettiford, left hand finish uncontested. Stripes letting them play a little bit on both ends underneath. 30-point Auburn lead. And a whistle on the floor. And that will end the night for Kevin Overton. That's his fifth. That will send Mushalik back in the ballgame.
Yeah, it's just bodies collided there, and Kevin Overton is a very strong young man, especially upper body strength. And he was called for the foul in that situation, his fifth of the night. But once again, another young man, Overton, and Sebastian Williams-Adams and Keyshawn Hall just growing into the system and improving every game.
Well, the thing I like about Overton, he comes from a winning program in Texas Tech. I mean, a team that went to the Elite Eight last year. He averaged 7 points, 3 rebounds on that team.
And he's a blue-collar type ball player. He's involved all the time at the defensive end, help position, taking away inside, great on-the-ball defender.
He's what him and Tahad Pettiford have a lot of chemistry watching today in practice. Jovic on a second chance on the offensive rebound. Has 6 tonight for the Tigers. Shelton now with 21. Here he's flying high. It hangs on the rim and falls out. Pettiford coast to coast. Caught on the rim. Goes back up. Mushalik thinks about it. Fires. Backside rebound. Hall blocked underneath. And a foul. It'll be against Brogna for Merrimack. Mentioned more opportunities for Hall at the line. Both teams in the double bonus. Hall, the leading scorer, 23 points. And continues to be nails at the free throw line. He's 11 of 12. Again, now with a 2-game sample size, I think that's probably going to be in the scouting report moving forward on Keyshawn Hall.
It certainly is. I mean, you just watch clips on him. He's outstanding talent.
Be changing directions. Shelton looking for space, goes to Billette straight away. And the Auburn jungle lets him hear about it.
It's an opportunity.
Tiger fans loving what they're seeing tonight. We'll have the final 4 minutes when we come back. Tahad Pettiford went to the NBA Combine this summer, rightfully so, after the freshman season that he had last year. Preseason first-team All-SEC. Coach Champy, he showed out at that NBA Combine, still decided to come back to Auburn, but take a look at the top returning draft prospects in college basketball. Tahad Pettiford certainly on that list, and he's got good company.
He certainly does, but each one of those ball players, they start off with a great basketball IQ. Obviously, the reason there is because of their offensive skills, but more importantly, their shot selection. They're three-tier players where they can shoot the long ball, create their own shot, but also attack the rim. And just like we're seeing tonight with Keshawn Hall, the ability to draw fouls.
Well, and Tahad Pettiford, when he makes it to the NBA, he is going to join a long list of Tigers that are on NBA rosters currently. With the lob, a chance for Freeman, disrupted underneath.
But what you see with Tahad, his ability, his vertical, to take off instantaneously on the floor to get that shot.
Foul on the floor, but see some names, some new names on that list. Janai Broome to Philly, Dylan Cardwell in Sacramento, and already joining guys like Jabari Smith, Isaac Okoro, Davion Mitchell, Walker Kessler, and also Miles Kelly. He's a new guy, made the team in Dallas. And Tariq Cooper, mentioned him a bit earlier. That's good company when you talk about culture and expectation in Auburn.
Well, it shows what a great job Coach Bruce Pearl has done, and his staff, Steven, and everyone else, Ira Bowman, and everyone else, in terms of player development, discipline on defense, respecting your teammates, but then the conditioning of the strength and the ability to play every possession in a physical manner is key.
Coach Caden Magwood, his first bucket as an Auburn Tiger.
Ironically, we talked about the fact that Tahad has to be a leader, just a voice of mental toughness, and he had Caden out here today working on his shot. In shoot-around prior they were out, and this evening, before anyone else was out on the court, Magwood was out here with Pettiford, just going through Tahad's shooting routine prior to game time.
And that's something, because Tahad, I mean, that shows maturity much greater than your average sophomore.
Right. He has to be that voice. Also understand these fellas, the mental toughness that needs to project throughout the season.
2:45 to go. Magwood pushing and stopped by Dorsett. Around the zone, Bashir got it.
Showed a lot of quickness, good form, but that's where Bashir has to go. It's got to be a quick release. He's got all the mechanics. He's got to be a little bit quicker with his release.
Quick release for Ty Dorsett, just didn't go. Bashir goes inside, put it on the floor for Williams Adams, and bumped. Have a look at Abdul Bashir. High stroke.
It all starts being on balance. On balance, on the shot, just follow through was perfect. Can't say enough about Sway, Sebastian Williams Adams. He, as a sophomore, as a freshman, only in his second regular season game, at 6'7", learning curve is.
His mom was the NBC Player of the Year at Wichita State. Offensive board, Mushalik. Eight to shoot. Bashir foul driving down the lane. But now the double bonus, that's the move with 1:52 left. year, junior from Omaha, Nebraska, played at Casper College. Second team JUCO All-American. Good get for Auburn, a player that shot 41% from the field in the JUCO ranks, 87% from the free throw line, and he's a good three-point shooter. He's got one tonight.
And I believe he has a twin brother that's just as good as he is playing at Kansas State.
He does indeed.
I wonder who was the shooter in that family, mom or dad?
How about both? Oh, big hammer. Ernest Shelton shooting the trays all night. There, he's got the one-handed jam. Jovic backing down, tangled up. Got it. But was the foul before the shot? Let's see if they give it to him.
I just don't understand what Valetti is upset about. He's got a headlock on him. He took his right arm away, and he's complaining about the foul. I guess we're all that way. We never commit a foul.
Basket did count. It was and one. Yeah, the right arm got in there, and
Yeah.
that's what sold it.
Merrimack shooting 29% for the game, shot 32% against South Dakota State. Just they've got to find a way offensively, I would say, to get a new scheme to compete with the personnel they have.
Happened a few times tonight. Rattles on the rim, hangs on, and falls out. There it did for Stinson. 45 seconds as the clock ticks down. Deep tray, bang! Abdul-Bashir. And Coach Stephen Pearl is going to empty the bench as that one puts the Tigers up 40.
So you want to interview me at the end of the game?
If you'll have me.
Well, forget about that. Here we go.
Exactly what I thought. They're back one more possession in them.
Opportunity for the scout team to be in there right now to show their anxiousness to play this game.
Jovic was a step behind and had the obvious reach in. This is game 2 of a 3-game homestand for Auburn. Tigers get Wofford early next week. Life on the road will continue for Merrimack. They go to Tarleton State on the 11th.
We have the brother of Dylan Cardwell, Drake, in the game, along with Reed Trapp.
Tigers going to hold it. And the Auburn Tigers are going to enjoy a 95-57 win to improve to 2-0 in the Stephen Pearl era for Auburn men's basketball. 95-57, your final. Coach Joe Ciampi, your final thoughts as Auburn took control and never let it go.
Well, Auburn took control with their defensive pressure, breaking down this team, only permitting 28% shooting percentage from the field. Offensively, they showed a lot of patience in finding the gaps in the defense and getting shots for their shooters.
For Coach Joe Ciampi, I'm Britt Bowen saying so long from Auburn, Alabama. Once again, our final score, Auburn wins it 95-57 over Merrimack. Join us for our next broadcast when the Auburn Tigers host the Wofford Terriers Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. To watch this game and others in their entirety, head to watchespn.com or the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.